Hi. Today we're going to be doing something very special. We're going to make something. We're going to start with this box. And in it, we'll put just a few things from my desk. We'll put this screwdriver. Screwdriver's a tool. That's really good. Good thing to have in there. This Anheuser-Busch bottle cap. Huh. Stapler remover. That'll work great too. Ooh, this is very advanced. I mean, we're taking a real step ahead by using this. A digital watch, and the battery is still working. And it's still almost telling time. So this, I mean, this is like a giant leap ahead from all these other kind of static items. This thing has something, if it doesn't move, at least it changes. This is just a bit of crumpled foil from an alcohol swab that I brought home from work and used to clean something before I picked my teeth with it. We can use one of these, why not? This is a pencil. We'll throw this in here too. Lighter, kind of advanced also. We'll take one of the 4 screws that are sitting on the desk because it's a nice screw when it's painted. I guess we could keep going, and maybe we'll finish with this Altoids box. A box in a box. It's allegorical at least, huh? Oh wait, there's something in the Altoids box. What's in it? Oh, it's loaded with Altoids. So that's great. Okay, we're going to put this in here in this box. We're going to close up the box. Okay, we've got the box closed. Then what we're going to do, we're going to do something real scientific with it. This will be really great. We'll wire it up. There we go. Okay, now we're almost wired. We'll take these wires, and what we'll do is we'll push them right into the side of the box. What a good connection that must be, huh? Look, did you hear that pop? That must really be a good, secure. And now we're going to use 2 wires, so we're going to have redundancy. All right. Ooh, see, we are really we're dialed in. I mean, this is amazing. What we're going to do with this box is, the next flight you get on, we're going to take the altimeter out of the airplane, and we're going to use this box as our altimeter. Okay? What's wrong? You don't like that idea? You're not even sure any data would come out of the box that's useful? I mean, I got it wired nice. Oh, that's not how an altimeter is made? You're saying there's not even anything coming out of the box. Wow. But you're going to tell me, if you're an atheist, that your intellect, which was thrown together with no more design, actually a lot less design than that, is worthy of being considered? You're going to tell me that the data coming out of your understanding and your intellect is sufficient to explain the origins of life, the reality of reality? You're going to trust that data to tell you anything at all? Now, why wouldn't you get on this plane with this wonderful altimeter? Because your lack of faith in God is not an intellectual issue, it's a moral issue. So you like your life. You like it a lot. You like it so much that you want the altimeter to be not only intelligently designed, but to work properly. You want the pilot to be able to understand how far above the ground he is, and if he's getting a little too close to it. But see, you don't want to admit to any moral quandary about it, and so you make it a matter of your intellect, and you say, well, God doesn't exist because my intellect cannot contain him, or the thought. And you're right, your intellect cannot contain God, nor can mine. But you were created to not contain him, but to know him, to understand him. Now, of course, the one who says his intellect was randomly created is going to spew out all sorts of faulty data. I don't know why you'd trust that for anything. But you do. You rely on it every day. And you use that to try to make your life more comfortable, more pleasurable, more enjoyable, less tense, meaning more at peace. Even the most depraved among us are looking for release and peace. A place where life just is, without the tension of demand, without the tension of compulsion. And so even in our most depraved compulsions, we look for release from those compulsions, that we might come back to that place of peace. Now, the believer, on the other hand, doesn't have that quandary. His may be a little different. He may see that what he sees of God doesn't quite match with what he sees of himself. He may approve that which he is not able to perform. But that is precisely why Jesus came and died, to take care of that great discrepancy between knowing the goodness of God and how good God is, and seeing how ungood we often are. And God's not holding that against us. In truth, he makes his appeal through Jesus to come back to him and learn of him. But if we deny that, if we deny that that is what God has done, then what hope do we have? See, every man does have a conscience. And even though the gospel is admittedly an offense, and even Jesus called himself an offense, and Paul understood that the gospel was an offense, it's not an offense to the conscience. When Jesus spoke plainly to the Pharisees that were trying to trap him, even they couldn't disagree or gainsay his wisdom. But it's an offense to the intellect, because the intellect likes to exalt itself. The intellect likes to imagine itself as the supreme expression of all that matters, even to declaring there is no God and making itself God. And the ultimate dictum, there is no God, there is none beside me. And that intellect will let others get on the plane with this as an altimeter. Say, hey, it's not my business, not my problem. I'm not getting on that plane, but if they want to get on that plane, let them go. But the truth is, every man does have a conscience. And every man does have a basic understanding of right from wrong. Even if it is only that he understands life is good, not life is not good. And that's why you go to such great lengths to preserve yours, in whatever fashion. Your comfort, your pleasure. No man ever hated his own flesh. And even the despairing suicide despairs, because inwardly he's convinced life should be good and his may not be. And one in such a pitiable state might even opt for the unknown rather than try to endure what he believes should be good, but he can find no good in it. Yet he still has that testimony, it should be. See, life is a gift, and only the giver, the intelligent designer of that life, knows what is best to nurture it, to care for it, to promote it. And that's why the impetus inside of every believer in Jesus Christ is to warn those that would get on the plane and do things that will only lead to their own harm. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Return to your Father. Return to your Creator. Return to the one who designs you and knows what you were created to run on. His life, His love, His Spirit, His peace, His joy, His goodness, His long-suffering, forbearance. Because He will even let you go on in that love and in that forbearance, in what you imagine is your own to keep. But you don't possess it in some static state. Even those things you have now that you treasure so. Jesus says, to him who has, more will be given. Even that which he thinks he has will be taken from him. So we can get as far down the road as we can get in our vehicles. But if we are not gassing them up correctly, we'll only get so far. And when we are broke down, when we are feeling completely unfixable, God is there. And He will let us go as far as we need to go. But that end is always nearer than we think. That end is always closer than we